Hello there. Um, Thought I'd just do a little video about exactly how I go about doing what I do. How do I write? What's my process, if you will? Um, and I don't really have a set way of doing things. I I'm I'm a discovery writer or pantser, as they say. Although I don't like that term, I prefer discovery writer. Um, I don't make plot outlines. I've never been able to follow a plot outline because I'm always turning over the plot in my mind. Where do we go from here? Okay, this is where we are now. This is where we want to get to. How do I get there in the most interesting way? And a lot of times that changes as I go along. So, where do I start? A lot of times I start with just a scene. I'll have a scene in my head. Uh, Sometimes there'll be dialogue, sometimes there won't be. And I'll just be sitting and I'll have, like, for example, with um, Upon a Far Distant Shore, I the first thing that scene that popped into my mind was of somebody uh, lying in the street. Now, initially it was raining. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I had to call out again another day, so I'm not at 100%. And if this seems a little rambly, don't worry about it. I don't use scripts. I just off the top of my head. So anyway, I'll start with a scene, um, and just work out from there. Most of the time, I'll know who the characters are because a lot of times it'll be involving characters that I already know, that I've already used, so I already know the characters. A lot of times, it's not, so I have to get to know the characters as I go along. And what I do is I put together a little um, chart that's um, that I use to figure out the characters, some of the basics of the characters: height, weight, eyes, hair, where were they born, anything special about them, where do they work, things like that. Just so I have those basic physical things out of my way. I'll figure out other things as I go along. I'll figure out what kind of person they are as I go along. I'll figure out their habits as I go along because it's part of being a discovery writer. Um, a lot of people will say you can't write a story unless you know the ending. Well, a lot of times I don't know the ending. Um, or I may have a vague idea where I want to get to and have to figure out how to get there. Although very rarely I will know exactly, hey, this is where I'm going. How do I get there? Like for example, with the fast fading light, which I have to get back to it, which I do my next start. I'm supposed to start my next editing on Sunday. Um, I started with the title and the character's name. I knew the main character's name was Andromeda Reyes. I had no idea who she was. I had no idea anything about her, but I had her and I had the title. And for a long, long time, I had no idea what was going on with it. Then I had the opening scene of somebody leaning into a pickup for a video call, screaming, "What's taking so long?" And we grew from then. For the longest time, I was stuck there. And then I figured, okay, let me just go from there, and now we have a completed novella. Of course, it took a while, but and sorry. So we got the scene, and then I just start writing. And I prefer notebooks. For the longest time, I used regular spiral bound notebooks and pens, fountain pens these days. Um, and spiral bound notebooks, but I have started buying better notebooks, and boy, are they expensive. It's interesting. Just a little side note here. you sit there and think it's paper, but it's better paper. It's better. It's made for fountain pens, or it's good for fountain pens. It works. So then I just write. Excuse me. Because I work a full day and live alone, I can't spend as much time writing as I would like. Like a day like today, I will spend right. I will spend writing. I spent a lot of yesterday writing. I'm going to spend a lot of today writing. Um, so I don't. So I'm putting my free time to good use. But will and I just write as much as I can. I don't have word counts in mind. I don't limit myself to, okay, the story is going to be this number of words or that number of words. The story is as long as it takes to tell the story, is basically it. So if I finish the story, if I could tell the story in 10,000 words, I'll tell the story in 10,000 words. If it takes 50,000 words, it'll take 50,000 words. And for example, The Hour of the Wolf, which I just finished, it's about 12,600 words. It's too short to publish on its own. It's what the mistake I made with Ray. Ray is only 16,000 words long. It's a single story, and I probably shouldn't have published it on its own. But that's neither here nor there. I don't like to publish anything shorter than about 20 to 25,000 words, because I'm feeling like it doesn't feel right. I don't know. Just maybe it's me. Anyway, I'm getting away from the topic here. So I write, and I just write and write and write and write and write. And a lot of times what happens, I'll write a paragraph and it's like, no, that doesn't sound right. I'll cross it out, write it again. No, that doesn't sound right. You'll see pages and pages and pages of crossed out paragraphs, literally the same paragraph, maybe a word different, written over and over again, just until I get it right. And yes, as Hemingway said, the first draft of everything is shit. But it still has to work in my head as I go along. And that's it. And I try and type as I go along. This way I don't have to sit and type for like hours at a time. I usually write some, type it up, and then this way when I get to the end, it's finished, and I just have to save it and wait to start editing. Now, after the writing is finished, after the story is finished, I do a spelling and grammar check on it, and then I leave it alone. I just forget about it for 2 months. This way, in the 2 months of writing, I will stop thinking about it. I'll be working on other things. I won't think about the story, and I'll be able to look at it after 2 months with fresher eyes. Now, with that editing, it's the only time I use ballpoint or rollerball pens is when I'm editing, because I don't want to buy a bottle of red ink that I'm probably only going to use maybe on average once. I'm not going to use it frequently enough, and then having to ink up a pen just for editing. And I don't know if I want to do that, but I might down the road. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, and then I start editing. Now, the thing about how I edit is I print out a copy and I just do everything right there. I do everything in one shot. I'm looking for spelling errors, typos. I'm correcting. I'm making sure the plot is flowing. I'm correcting. I'm looking for plot holes. Trying to refine the story down into something a little bit more streamlined. And I will do then. And then I update the file. And I never learned. I never learned copy editing symbols. So there's that. I mean, I know a couple of them, but I don't know all of them. Anyway, so I do all that, and then I update the file, forget about it for 2 months. Most stories get a minimum of 4 edits before I start thinking about publishing. A lot of them have gone to 6. Brianna and the 3 went to 8 before I was finally to the point where, yeah, this is finished. My soul keeps on 7, I think. Hold on, let me check here. Let's see, what are we up to? What did I just finish? 6. No, 7, excuse me. It was 7. So my soul to keep is on its 7th edit right now. I'm pretty much happy with it. There is something that I need to address. I never at any point described what this town and the habitat of Coventry looks like. So that's something I have to address. I'll have to find a cover for it. But that's something else right now. And then when I finally finish that last edit, then we go through the other things. Formatting is tedious, but it's not hard. And I do everything. I'm self-published, so I do everything through Smashwords and Amazon. I used to use Lulu, but I'm not really convinced that they're helping much. Anyway, sorry, my train of thought just derailed. Oh yeah, I used to make my own covers for the books, and but what I'm starting to do now, because I have no idea what the cover of My Soul to Keep should look like, so I have to. So I'm going to start looking through pre-made covers. They're more affordable than having a cover made, and I'm sorry to anybody out there who says that you should have a professionally made cover. Yes, I know I should have a professionally made cover. What bill don't I pay to do that? It's like they say, well, start saving money. It's like, okay, I live paycheck to just a few days shy of paycheck. What exactly do you want me to not pay? Same thing with editors. I've never had a professional edit. I would love to have a professional edit. I really would. I can't afford it. It's just what a lot of people don't understand. I can't afford that. So, okay. So I do my editing, and then I make my cover, do all my formatting, upload to Smashwords first, and then Amazon. There's slight differences between the edition for Smashwords and the edition for Amazon. Smashwords, there's a paragraph that they want included at the start of the book. It's kind of a disclaimer almost that I have to take out for Amazon, and then there's a couple of changes that I make to the end page where I list my all my contact information and all the other books. On the Smashwords, I have my Smashwords author page listed. On Amazon, I take that out and I put my Amazon author page there. Minor, but And so that's about it. If this sounds haphazard and uncoordinated, yeah, it is. But that's the way my mind works. It's a mess, and still, though, I've managed to churn out 11 books. I do tend to have a habit of I'll write something for a while, and then I'll just, for some reason, I'll put it aside, or I'll get distracted by another idea, and that story will sit. It'll just sit there. Now I'll remember where it was. I'll remember what was going on, but I just won't work on it. I'll be working on something else. Now, I do normally work on multiple projects, because what also happens is I'll get to a point, because I am a discovery writer, I'll just get to a point, it's like, what happens next? and then I'll have to back up and say, okay, let's leave this aside for a while. Let's go work on this other one for a while. And then I'll just rotate through all of them. This way I'm constantly working on something. There's always forward progress. And, hopefully one of these days it'll settle down a little bit, so I have a little bit more consistency, but, hopefully things will continue to go forward. Okay, so that's about it. That's how I write. Slowly, by fountain pen in notebooks. Slowly but surely. And that's the thing. That's one last thing. This is how I work. How you work is entirely up to you. Everybody does the same thing differently, as I say. And find the way that works best for you. If you can sit at your keyboard and type, great. I can't. I can't do that. My mind doesn't work that way sometimes. I can do it when I'm at work, for notes that for things that I need to write at work. But for the real work, that I can't. It just doesn't work for me. So the one thing I want to leave you with is, don't ever let anybody tell you that there's one way to do this. There's not. There's the way that works best for you. It may be haphazard, it may be uncoordinated, it may be slapdash, it may be backwards. If it works for you, then that's the way you do it. All the books are on sale right now. If you're watching this, by the way, before I forget to mention that again, if you're watching this before July 31st, 2021, all the books are on sale through Smashwords. I'll put a link to that down on the bottom. I forgot to do that on the last video. Just pick up a book if any of them catch your attention. If you do buy one, though, just please make sure you go back and put on a review on Goodreads. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not. I don't care. I just want to know what do you think of it. And so I guess that's it for now. All the books are linked down below. So is my social media. And remember, we are each of us the heroes of our own stories and the villains of someone else's. See you next time, guys. Bye.